Bam, Leute, und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, in der Episode Turnabout Beginnings, wo wir letztes Mal reingestartet sind, in der Vergangenheit mal wieder, mit der guten Mia. Schön am Rumbetteln, und zwar gegen eine alte Bekannte, oder besser gesagt, eine zukünftige Bekannte. Ja, aber erstmal mit unserem Klienten hier, schön in schicker Kleidung, erstmal ein bisschen talken. In der Defendant Lobby, Number 4. Und ich habe übrigens, ja, schrei du mal rum. Falls man ein kleines Rauschen hört, es tut mir sorry, aber ich schwitze wie ein Schwein, deswegen muss ich meinen Ventilator anhaben. Aber ich glaube, so schlimm ist er nicht. Der Controller ist tatsächlich immer noch schlimmer. Aber, naja. I'm sorry. Das war ja Mia. Warum? Okay.
I want to say thanks. You're really good. You really hooked me up.
Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed a crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Ach ja, und sie hat ja einen anderen Namen. Melissa Foster, genau. Ja, die haben wir angeklagt, hier, diese Policewoman abgemurkst zu haben. Auf dieser Brücke. Damals. Vor weiß ich wie vielen Jahren. Oder war das erst... vielleicht war es auch erst kürzlich. I don't know. Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years... ist 5 Jahre her, natürlich, wie alles. 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lied.
Mr. Foss, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago.
Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. The bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute.
So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute.
True, it did. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Okay. Your girlfriend, huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name.
Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister.
What? Are you serious?
The girl let her go.
Also das Dahlia in seinem Arm.
Shut up, come closer and I kill her.
Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Bam! The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it.
Wrong! No, protect sister. Valerie betray me. Betray us.
What do you mean, she betrayed you?
Everything, all lies. All make-believe kidnapping too.
Make-believe kidnapping?
Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel.
Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas.
I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says.
Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by...
Yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie too.
Valerie was in on it?
Dahlia's family rich, jewelry business. We get one jewel, that's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We sent her to Dad. Ask for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she new detective.
Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright? In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh?
Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot at me for real, me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jump in river.
Okay. Jump? You know what I mean? She jumped on purpose, do you?
I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over.
And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence.
I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me.
That man, Terry Foss, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river, 40 feet below.
These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know.
So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself.
Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her, just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth, that's all.
So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, zebra boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom, the $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it?
I don't know.
Huh? You don't know?
No, really, I don't know. It's gone, with Dahlia.
With Dahlia? Ja, so ein Zufall, dass die zwei quasi, der Diamant und Dahlia, in den Fluss gesprungen sind und I wonder what happened.
That day on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack.
Now she's a rich girl.
Now gone, with Dahlia, gone forever. Into Eagle River.
It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. We can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Foss, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne?
Never found her, my sweet Dahlia.
They never found her.
Swallowed by river, gone. Dahlia, my teen angel.
Your teen angel? How old was she anyway?
Just 14.
Vielleicht gut, dass du dieses Outfit anhast. For 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man, oh man, angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeves now. You bet. Oh, der Diamond hat sich mal kurz in unserer Hosentasche manifestiert. Easy Lawyer-Kräfte. A $2 million gem. Used as ransom for Dahlia. Lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. Ich weiß, er ist nicht wirklich bei uns. Aber trotzdem. The training wheels come off. Genau. That's one of my rules. Remember it. That's one of my rules. Mhm. Ja. Courtroom number 4. Ich verspreche mich gerade recht viel. Blah, blah.
Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
You're a brave young lady.
Not this again. I can understand the defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman?
It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer.
Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next.
Well, Miss Fay, do you have any evidence of a motive?
Yes, of course, I think.
You're still acting as tame as a kitten.
Mr. Armando.
Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro.
Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that.
Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge?
Oh, of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like.
What? Können wir eine Auswechslung haben hier, bitte?
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional.
What do you mean?
Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then. Let's hear what the witness has to say.
Melissa Foster's history.
I was out of the country until last year, before last. Until I entered college, I had never been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
Out of the country, eh?
Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder.
Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile.
You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case.
Out of the country. At the college, I had never been to Eagle Mountain before. I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. War mal das hier, ne? Hold it.
Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Oh, well, that's...
Unfortunately, Miss Fay, your last statement proves nothing.
Oh, really? And why is that?
The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that at that time an officer showed her this photo.
That seems like a rather serious mistake.
That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book.
That's not fair. That wicked inmate, I'll never be able to forget that horrible day.
Holding out, crouching, ja. I think that is horrible. Pressen wir weiter.
A grudge. Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death.
Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such a deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt.
My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful, your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
What do you mean by that? Der Schal.
Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well.
Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. Wait and see. Ja, wir pressen harder. Jede Chance, die wir kriegen.
You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right?
Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification.
Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man.
This is bad. Mr. Fall's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's not best to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Have it added to the testimony.
Also ich meine, ist nie verkehrt, ne? Wir machen es einfach mal. Vielleicht müssen wir uns entscheiden, welche Stelle wir adden möchten. Vielleicht kommt noch eine weitere. Aber wir machen mal.
Your Honor, what the witness just said now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony.
The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point.
No, that's not why I...
Enough, witness, if you would.
My pleasure, Mr. Judge.
I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. Ach, jetzt haben wir etwas überschrieben, oder? Ah ne, hier, es kommt noch ein weiteres, genau, okay. Also das haben wir jetzt zusätzlich bekommen.
What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said...
Then you yourself might have been killed.
That would have been a terrible loss for this world.
Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten.
Mr. Armando.
Keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Ich meine, es hat uns ja jetzt nicht geschadet, oder? Aber es klingt so, als ob das das Falsche wäre, ne? Kidnapping a poor girl.
You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. they had an in-depth report about his whole history.
So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right?
Yes.
Can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow, you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self.
Okay, wir pressen mal den Rest noch.
So, what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed...
It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone.
I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification.
How convenient.
What kind of a sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details?
Ja.
Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in?
Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case.
I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne.
Yes, I think we've established that point.
Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony?
Okay.
Yes, please, Mr. Judge.
Okay, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant.
You didn't know either person, are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people.
Oh well, that can't be helped.
Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth?
First time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct?
Yes, it really was a coincidence.
Ja, ich presse eben den Rest nochmal.
So, what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hikings, you know, that sort of thing.
You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts.
But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college?
Prosecution objects to any question that involved the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent.
Thank you. She's really gone too far.
Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here.
You hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive.
Ups. Reason why I want to help police officer, das haben wir glaube ich noch nicht, oder? Oder? Doch, ich glaube, das haben wir schon. Ich muss mal kurz hier alles durchschauen hier, ne? Wir haben ja nicht viel. Wir haben den Diamond. Ich meine, ich weiß nicht, ob wir... Also, so wie ich das verstehe, müssen wir sie halt irgendwie dazu... mit diesem Fall vor 5 Jahren verknüpfen, ne? Dass sie halt die Dahlia ist, ne? Ich meine, ich könnte aber den Diamant irgendwo pressen, aber das hat letzten Endes kein Beweis, sondern nur irgendwie Theory Crafting von unserer Seite aus, ne? Crime Photo, Victim's Note. Ah, warte mal, wir haben hier doch... Ach so, aber nee, Talk to Dahlia. Ja, eben, sie ist ja... Melissa Forster, sagt sie. Ich will nochmal ganz von vorne. Also, I was out of the country. Das ist das war was Neues, was sie gekriegt haben. I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Dahlia Hawthorne, deceased. Toll, dass wir noch ein Profilfoto kriegen. From bridge nobody found, ja. Until I entered college, I had never been to Eagle Mountain before. Yeah, I mean, don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer, ja. Ich meine, hier könnten wir auch den Diamond drücken. Again, Lucky was wearing a white scarf. Kidnapping a poor girl. Ich weiß nicht. Ich habe mal den Diamanten irgendwo drücken. Also, ich mach mal. Didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Das ist ja ein Testimony, das wir neu bekommen haben. Von daher, wir drücken jetzt hier mal irgendwas. Ja, aber der Diamond, der sagt ja genau gar nichts, ne? Oder? Ich presse einfach mal. Nee. Und ich sollte speichern. Vielleicht. Komm, machen wir direkt mal. So. Okay, the college, I've never been to Eagle Mountain before. Also ich meine, The victim or the defendant. Ich weiß nicht, was ich hier drücken soll. Warte mal, ich mach mal an meinem Speed-Durchlauf. Alles. Ich mach alles nochmal. Und guck mal, ob mir irgendwas auffällt. Ob hier was Neues kommt. Weil manchmal ist es ja so. Nachdem man alles gepresst hat, dass man nochmal alles pressen muss und dann passiert plötzlich was. Naja, Name of College. Interessiert keine Sau. Eigentlich. Ja, das hatten wir auch schon, genau. Das hat sie von einem Police Officer erfahren. Dann holding a grudge. Please don't say was crucial. Lucky wasn't wearing a white scarf. To show the court her true self. Alter, ich steck richtig fest. Holy shit. Was haben wir? Wir haben doch nichts. That bridge where White Scarf for identification. Blah blah blah. Talk to Dahlia, tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Ja, das ist vielleicht noch wichtig. Talk to Dahlia. Also. Valerie, ne? Sie wollte mit Dahlia talken. Moment, also das ist ja... Das ist ja, also das vor dem Kidnapping. Nee, warte. Nee, warte, nee, das ist... Ich komme gerade durcheinander. Das ist in der jetzigen Zeit, ne? Kidnapping war 5 Jahre zuvor. Das heißt, Mallory wollte mit Dahlia talken über irgendeine Truth, das Outcome muss, ne? Das heißt, die beiden sind involviert, ne? Mit dem Diamanten. Nur die Frage, was bringt uns das? Dahlia ist ja immer noch jetzt hier im Moment eine dritte Person, ne? Und nicht Melissa Forster. Didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Holding a grudge, killing the officer testified. Soll ich hier mal die Note machen? Nee. Okay. Dann... Defendant ist... Ja, ich presse jetzt einfach mal noch irgendwo den Diamanten. Wo soll ich den pressen? Ja, pressen wir hier. Wird falsch sein? Okay. Dann werde ich jetzt mal kurz einen Cut machen. Ich werde mir Gedanken drüber machen, weil ich steck gerade wirklich komplett fest. Und schneide ich mal raus diese Zeit. Bis gleich. Okay, da sind wir wieder, Leute. Ich habe ehrlich gesagt keine Ahnung. Kein Plan. Ich bin vollkommen auf dem Schlauch und musste deswegen leider Gottes nachgucken. Und ich bin nicht traurig, dass ich das gemacht habe. Denn es ist irgendwie... Ja, es ist das Statement. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. Und wir sollen jetzt präsentieren, dass der Scarf gar nicht white ist. Aber hatten wir das nicht schon besprochen? Es ist halt ähnlich. Also warum ist das jetzt relevant? Das check ich irgendwie nicht. Naja, wir präsentieren mal und gucken. Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification.
Are you talking about this scarf right here, eh?
Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing.
I've got her now. Just don't mess up. Wirklich? Ich verstehe es nämlich nicht, warum.
But that's strange. In your testimony you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I was wearing a white scarf.
Ja, weil das war ja die Bedingung. White? Ich glaube, ich bin einfach dumm, scheinbar. Ich weiß nicht.
This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look white to me. Yeah, close enough.
Well, it was foggy that day, and it was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white. Yeah.
Sorry, but not this time. Witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf.
Yes, but what's the significance?
Thank you, Judge.
It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but
there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is...
Achso, kennt sie den Brief nicht? Hat sie das nicht? Okay, ist mal wieder sowas wie... Sie war in der letzten Session nicht anwesend und dürfte vom Brief nichts wissen. Okay, ja. Das wird irgendwie relativ häufig jetzt verwendet, diese Taktik, ne? Okay. In der Note steht halt, es ist ein weißer Scarf. Warum hat sie dann weiß gesagt, wenn er doch blau ist? Das heißt, sie kennt die Note. Okay. Got it. Okay. Also es war ein bisschen verwirrend. Ein bisschen... okay. I get it now.
Witness, have you ever seen this note? Note? No, never.
It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you would have.
I wonder about that. But what do you mean? This note shows Mr. Frost's introductions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification.
White scarf?
Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Well, Mrs. Foster?
No! Order! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation.
Ja, mein Gott. Ich find's... Naja. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public.
And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said.
Das könnte halt auch ein Versehen sein. Aber ja, ist okay, ich höre ja schon auf.
At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne.
Achso, ja klar, sie hat die Note geschrieben aufgrund von... Ja, okay, stimmt. Ich dachte gerade, hat doch... Terry Falls hat das doch geschrieben. Aber nee, sie hat es ja geschrieben. Sie hat sich's aufgeschrieben, so.
Is another. And finally, one more person.
Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kid?
Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was...
the one who died.
And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before.
Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There's her name right here.
What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne?
Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life.
The dead?
Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago.
Killed in a crime? You don't mean...
Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls.
You said she was killed, but was she really?
What are you implying?
Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off of Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found.
She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. A As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead.
But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old, 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe that's the same age you are. Ah.
Even you couldn't, Miss Fay. You're not saying... Flick?
But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
What? What?
Nice work. It was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist.
I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm.
Witness, just who are you anyway?
I'm...
I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You say any more, witness?
Yes, I understand.
What, Mr. Edgeworth? Explain yourself.
Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought that defense would pursue this matter this far.
You don't mean...
Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses.
What did he say?
Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go.
No way, but then why?
He hadn't revealed her secret. He wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
But, I thought she died 5 years ago.
We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see...
Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? And why did the prosecution hide it? Ist das nicht irgendwie extrem strafbar? Also, sollte der jetzt nicht im hohen Bogen rausfliegen?
Also,
okay.
Has nothing to do with the current case. He was merely an accidental witness to a crime.
Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder.
Stopp deinen Finger, Edgeworth. Geh einfach. Really, Miss Fay? I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. Ja, und deine nicht. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost.
How dare you?
Please let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. And even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Fay must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her.
What?
I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Fay, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would the witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Well, you see, I thought I was winning.
Are you winning, son?
Ja, klar sind wir am Gewinn. Keine Angst mir. But somehow he's turned it around on me.
I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten.
The defense is prepared to present...
The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim.
Ich denke mal, das war er. Unser Diego.
Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy. This crazy coffee addict.
I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man.
What makes you think they're empty, boy?
Because your protégé looks like she's sweating bullets.
I am sweating bullets.
You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course, aren't I?
No, you've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me.
The rashness of youth, how charming.
This comes from someone younger than me.
Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne?
Motive? Wer dann der Diamond? Also die Note war ja der Trigger quasi, ne? Weil tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Es klingt so, als ob sie exposen wollte. Aber das Motiv wäre dann der Diamant, würde ich sagen, ne? What is this? Is this the defense idea of a joke?
So, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye?
Das war nicht richtig?
Oh, that was the rashness of youth.
Okay.
Ja, dann halt die Note. Ich speichere jetzt nicht. Sieht richtig aus.
Story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, "Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out." Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal the world the whole truth.
The whole truth?
There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie, to keep her mouth shut permanently.
A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was this secret that was so important? Where's your evidence?
Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Telly Farms. There's only one important secret that connects them all.
Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony.
What testimony?
Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters.
Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf?
Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge.
Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles.
"5 years ago.
5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. And so Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid to be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life.
The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe, after that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye.
Yes, Your Honor.
As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination.
Mr. Hedgehoff got the jump on me again.
If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up, we still got that info. The day's up our sleeve.
What info?
Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged.
That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby.
I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says.
Yeah, what you're saying is that the kidnapping was planned by me and Dahlia, and Valerie too.
Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's our secret.
Aber erst speichern wir mal. Sicherheitshalber. Wir haben nur noch ein Leben. Nicht so geil, nicht so prickelnd. I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Diamond. She shot in the arm. Tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Das ist wieder so was Typisches hier, from behind. Das ist wieder so spezifisch. Das riecht schon nach einer Contradiction. Ich presse mal.
I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I looked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large bloodthirsty grin.
Bloodthirsty grin, oh!
And in the next instant,
Flop. Toilet flush. I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift.
I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. And just one little shot from behind. That was it.
Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. Achso, warte, das ist immer noch Text, das ist nicht Testimony.
Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river.
Jetzt mit dem Testimony. Ich bin gerade ein bisschen verwirrt. Also, wie das Ganze jetzt überhaupt ausgesehen hat. Also, sie wollte wegrennen in die Sackgasse. Dann ist Terry auch umgedreht und hat sie geschubst. Und dann konnte Valerie sie nicht auffangen, aber macht ja keinen Sinn, weil Valerie ist ja am anderen Ende der Brücke. Wie soll sie dann... Hä? Vielleicht, also ich komme noch nicht so wirklich mit hier mit dem, aber falls wir nichts anderes haben, machen wir einfach mal die Dusky Bridge Map hier. Aber wir gucken erstmal weiter. Also, I was afraid, ja, das ist mir eigentlich egal. Change my identity and start a new life. After the exchange.
It was a dangerous thing to do, considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually, that saved my life.
Entschuldigung, ich muss kurz. Da kamen Gene aus mir raus.
What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me.
Okay, Mia hat irgendwas... Könnte auch ein Hinweis sein. Ransom price is a diamond.
I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million.
$2 million?
It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk.
$2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that.
The defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange, not as a detective, of course, but as an individual.
By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape.
There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety.
What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is.
Yeah, right. It was all your plan.
Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and...
Okay. Lesen wir das nochmal.
Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor.
You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls?
No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me.
That makes sense. 5 years ago she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see.
Quite a clever fellow, that Mr. Falls.
Did you hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? Ja, das sieht nicht so aus. Okay, das war das erste Statement, ne? Genau. Das hatten wir. Das hatten wir. Ja gut, wir pressen einfach an.
And that's why you hid your identity. Yes, I only told my sister.
Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes, she's the only one who knew about me.
Meanwhile, legally, this witness was deceased for 5 years.
I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again.
Change my identity.
That new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister had me get the official paperwork taken care of.
That makes sense. We've had an insider's help. Doing all of the paperwork would have been impossible.
She was the only person. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you, I think, killed her. There's no way I could.
It's the moment of truth for this witness too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is.
I've just got to prove that kidnapping was a hoax.
Ja, aber wie? Ich habe jetzt nichts gefunden, von daher würde ich vielleicht nochmal daraufhin zurückkommen. Und irgendein Foto zeigen. Das von Dusky Bridge. Aber wie gesagt, ich komme irgendwie noch nicht so drauf. Ne? Es ist nur so ein Gefühl. Was sehen wir da? Also, warte mal. Moment. Someone tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. Wait, ich will das nochmal pressen. When Mr. Falls was shot in the arm, he let go of me. Mhm. Aha, guck mal. Selbst das Bild ist ja schon eine Contradiction. Weil wir haben ja ein Foto gemacht und Terry Falls ist hier... Der ist ja nicht in der Sackgasse, der ist auf der anderen Seite. Valerie war in der Sackgasse. Also, I was dazed, turned to try and run away. I ran past and he locked eyes and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Das Ding ist, wenn sie einfach... Also laut diesem Foto, das wir jetzt gerade gesehen hatten, konnte sie ja nicht wegrennen, weil ist ja Sense da. Aber sie war ja tatsächlich auf der anderen Seite, oder? Laut unserem Foto. Ich glaube, ich presse das mal. Mal gucken. Und sonst presse ich halt noch die Dusky Bridge Map. Ich habe ja gespeichert. Ja, komm, ist okay. Before my sister could catch me. Ja. Ich habe gespeichert. Und just in case speichern wir nochmal. Nein. Wait, wo war das? Genau, hier, ne? Also Present. Und dann machen wir... Was ist das nicht für Foto? Ne, das Auto. Das Witness-Foto. Wir machen mal das. Klingt nicht richtig. Wusste ich. Aber warum? Nein! Ah! Okay, dann präsentieren wir Dusky Bridge Map. Okay. Also ich bin mir noch nicht ganz sicher. Ich hatte einfach nur den Eindruck, weil das ist wieder was mit diesem was ist mit diesem Detail, was eigentlich zu viel war, was sie nicht hätte sagen müssen, dass es damit zu tun hat. Aber ich kann es mir irgendwie noch nicht zusammenreimen. Irgendwie, keine Ahnung, wer jetzt wo gestanden ist. In unserem Foto ist er irgendwie am Anfang gestanden. In der Erinnerung steht er am Ende. Bin ein bisschen verwirrt. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge. Now and 5 years ago. The bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. Okay, also wir gehen scheinbar davon aus, dass sie wirklich dort hinten gestanden sind, aber wir haben doch jetzt... Moment, habe ich mich gerade irgendwie vertan? Nee, wir sehen doch in diesem Foto, Terry steht am Anfang und nicht hinten. Ach so, das ist... Moment, das ist vor dem Exchange. Das ist bevor Valerie da war, ne? Weil das ist ja Dahlia dort. Deshalb sehen wir extra ihr Gesicht nicht. Okay, Valerie kommt dann später. Und dann sind die beiden, okay, am Ende. Okay, aber wir gucken mal, was sie zu sagen, weil ich check's, glaube ich, immer noch nicht. Heute ist irgendwie kein guter Tag für mich. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you have claimed. Ah! Ja, ich seh's. Ah, okay. Wenn er sie dort geschubst hätte, dann wäre sie garantiert Shish Kebab. Instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. Most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Ah! Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then.
But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference.
You're right, if the events occurred just as the witness has testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this?
You see,
Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge.
What do you mean?
After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge.
If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
Now that you mention it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious.
Your skirt. Nice panty shot for your Terry.
Order in the court!
Seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion.
Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault.
What?
I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible.
Ridiculous? What's so impossible about it?
Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record.
Ja, eventuell das. Also muss sich schon recht dumm anstellen, um da von der Seite durchzufallen. Ist nicht unmöglich, aber wenn man sich Mühe gibt, was man im Normalfall tun sollte, wird man da nicht runterfallen.
Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there.
No!
But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He would have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over.
With a shot arm? So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm.
Ah!
And more importantly, Mallory Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible.
Order! What's the meaning of this?
Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into Eagle River intentionally.
What?
Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current, but even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river.
Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river?
The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond.
No, it can't be.
Yes, Dahlia had it planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river. With the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack.
Why is that simply... Order! Your Honor, 5 years ago the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan?
This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? Well, she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping?
Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder.
What do you mean by that?
On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do.
Planning to do? She's going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note.
That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
Ich liebe that face. Who is that, laughing at a time like this?
Oh, bitch. Forgive me, it's just hilarious.
Witness, is that you?
You amuse me, woman, Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you?
Evidence?
Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister.
Well,
And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that.
Well, Miss Fey,
I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something?
Yeah.
How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago?
Terry könnte aussagen.
I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
Well, it seems that we've come to an end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. Ach nee. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense.
Of course you are.
Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it? Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decides that?
Mr. Armando.
Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even Even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony.
The testimony?
On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Falls' stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right?
Yes, that's right.
In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes?
I'm Terry.
Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness.
A new witness?
Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls.
The defendant.
There's only one person that can shed any further light on that situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this?
Why not? The prosecution has no objection.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand.
This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left.
Wird er reden, ist die Frage.
Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes?
I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million.
That's not true.
Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want to answer to. 2 days ago, on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne, or was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago she promised never ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia, it's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
To tell the truth, the real truth, I believe in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know.
But
there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Dahlia.
I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Water, please, water.
Huh?
Can't talk, need water.
Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least, it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself.
Oh.
Who Terry Falls saw.
That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia.
Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same?
That's enough, Miss Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Is this how you wanted to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence?
There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten, I think.
Stop the car. I was in front of bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct?
Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it.
I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of an eye.
Watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. You were watching the car.
The bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So I was watching car.
Oh, what else were you expecting him to do?
I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway.
No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it.
Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing.
Contradiction. I watched my car from bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Ja, also er hätte zumindest sein Auto gesehen, ja, das macht schon Sinn. Ein Foto. Okay, wir machen mal weiter. One woman came, she stood in front of me. Mr. Foss, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne?
I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remembered her face.
Wait a minute, if you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification?
Sorry. I told a little lie. But the woman I met is different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie.
We talked and she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls.
Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me death penalty.
Were you satisfied with that answer, witness?
Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead.
But you just saw that she isn't dead.
After Valerie talked to me on the bridge, nothing left to live for.
Not my Dahlia. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do.
That woman, it wasn't Dahlia.
Stop right there. What more needs to be said?
Even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Foss? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. False. Even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. And you'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess.
Okay, das haben wir noch nicht gepresst. Machen wir noch mal kurz.
According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you?
It was raining. Already dark, too.
You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. False?
Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong memories.
What, did he just climb up? Why did he just climb up? Could it be he's hiding something here?
So, hier hat sie wegen Contradiction irgendwas gesagt. Ich press nochmal, warte. Watch in the car. That bridge other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So, also I was watching car. Oh, warte, ich habe eine Idee. Weil, so wie es aussieht, war Valerie, in Anführungszeichen, zuerst da, weil sie steht am Ende der Brücke. Und er steht am Anfang der Brücke. Ist jetzt nicht unbedingt ein Hard Proof, but man könnte das mal probieren. Er hat nicht zum Auto geguckt, sondern er hat die Person angeguckt, die da stand. Weil die schon da war. Something bothering me. I'm getting a feeling. Ja, contradiction. Okay. Ich denke mal, ich muss es hier drücken. I watched my car from the bridge. Oder muss ich das hier drücken? She wasn't there, so I waited on the bridge. Oder soll ich es hier drücken? Sie hat's halt hier gesagt. Ich drück's jetzt einfach mal hier. Witness Photo, oder? Das ist es? Ja. Okay, war der richtige Spot. Wenn es ein bisschen weird ist, dass man das da drücken muss.
So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. False. I'm sure that you're lying.
What?
Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Fay.
You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right?
But that's the victim at the end of the bridge.
Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. False, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did.
Blah.
Okay, sonst noch was?
Mr. False, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth.
I got there around 4 o'clock, it's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 50 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love.
A memento?
5 years ago, I hid it under a base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get.
Was kennen wir ja?
This little bottle on a necklace is your memento. It's quite charming, but it looks empty.
Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car.
No. Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it.
Still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls?
That's enough, please. Witness. I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens, that we can't trust each other no more than we're supposed to drink bottle.
No, stop the trial. Your Honor, we need a recess.
I was stupid. I couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this.
No, we are so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence.
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again.
Mr. Falls.
Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee.
Mr. Falls. And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. Well, actually, there is one winner. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable, that witch.
Mr. Armando.
You were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Daisy. Die Mucke. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years now. But now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Warum ist es immer 5 Jahre? Was ist mit dieser Zahl? Ist es irgendwie... Turnabout Beginnings, the end. Und somit haben wir Episode 4 abgeschlossen. Das Intro, das jetzt wirklich den letzten Fall einleitet. Der, wie heißt der? Vielleicht sehe ich das hier gerade. Bridge to the Turnabout. Ja, wie ich schon sagte, es ist ein Intro. Und das Bridge to the Turnabout wird vermutlich etwas mit dieser Brücke zu tun haben. Ja, aber mehr sage ich jetzt mal nicht, ne? Dann müsst ihr wohl bis zum nächsten Part warten. Bis dahin, macht's gut, Leute. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Bleibt gespannt. Und tschö.